scooping fuel in your bucket, or running far away from impending fire. You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee (FSRCC), in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators (IFOs), which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC. The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee (FSRCC), in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators (IFOs), which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC. The Financial Services.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire. You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Regulation Coordinating Committee (FSRCC), in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators (IFOs), which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Some TV, and happy Thursday. And as the great Mandela said, the greatest glory in living is not in never falling, but the ability in rising every time we fall. And I think we can all agree that Thursdays are the perfect day to rise and shine because the weekend is finally within sight. And again, we made it through the hump, and it's time to coast into the weekend. But before we do, let us make today count. And also, let's tackle those tasks we're putting off, crush those goals, and maybe we'll treat ourselves to mid-morning coffee break. So grab a coffee, or grab a cup of pap or kunu, or whatever it is that you like to take in the morning, and relax yourself as we take you through the morning show. And you know, the morning show, we have some different segments for you. We have the newspaper review segment, we have the pigeon segment, we also have the Taraba news segment, and we also have the interview segment. So stay tuned for an amazing show today, packed with inspiring tones, thought-provoking discussions, and maybe a few laughs along the way. And I'm not alone in the studio as usual. In the studio today, I have with me my partner, not in crime, but in doing the good things on the morning show in the person of Mr. Ira Daniel Kukwe, the Director of News and Current Affairs on Some TV. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm always very glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. And also in the studio with us is a very, very wonderful guest. I think most of you will know him either on Some TV on or other platforms because he's a resource person. He's a public affairs commentator. He's a political analyst. And he's a man of many parts. And just like I always say, it's always a delight to have him. That is Dr. David Charima. Doctor, you're welcome to this
Thank you. Thank you so kindly.
Okay. Now we're here. How was the day and how is everything? It's Thursday. Are you already thinking of the weekend?
Well, to the wider world, it's almost weekend.
Yes.
But to politicians, it's like every other day.
Okay. That's a good one. Sarah, so probably maybe when you go to politics, Thursdays you wouldn't be looking up to Thursdays. You would be looking up to Thursday as a day closer to weekend.
Yeah, even in the press, do you envisage a weekend? We are at work every day, so it's just like I want to agree with the good doctor that it's just like any other day because for us, weekend is almost not existing. We go to work every day like that, and that is what it is.
But there's this thing they say. There's some days that have this particular sayings around them. You know, when it's Christmas,
yes,
there's this, even during salad period, there's this smell of meat around everywhere. Is this what is it that our senses that picks up this thing, or that is the way those days are really special days?
Well, whenever, of course, you should know in life, whatever you do consistently tend to become a habit. And because we are highly connected to our environment, it's natural for you to begin to envisage what to expect in every season. Every season comes with its own blessings and also its lessons.
Okay, thank you very much. So today we will come in with his own lessons and also blessings. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back, the morning show continues.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee (FSRCC), in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators (IFOs), which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system.
What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable, and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye. What if I...
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Yes, welcome back to the morning show on Some TV. And before we went on that break, we've done the introductions, but let me do it again. We have a guest in the house, Dr. David Charima, and we're going to be looking at the major stories on the front pages of the news paper with him, and also with the Director of News and Current Affairs on Some TV, Mr. Daniel Irakukwe. So let us hit the ground running. So I'll start with the Vanguard. The Vanguard, let us look at some of the stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. We have on sports on the front page. You have 3 points against Rwanda, non-negotiable, according to the Super Eagles. And here in Nigeria, we also agree with that. It is non-negotiable. Nigerians love their sports and they love their Super Eagles. And then we also have the story of protest rocks Ondo as armed herdsmen kill 5 farmers. So policeman, 11 militia gang members killed, also in Benue community. This is quite sad. And also the major story there, okay, there's another story there on the front page, the audit panel to federal government, our prisons in deplorable conditions, So the major story here has it that emergency ruling in Rivers, federal government governors disagree. Wiki has no role in political crisis, according to the AGF. alleges Fubara teleguided militants to blow up pipelines. Also, Tinubu can appropriate such powers to himself. Amechi, no justification for state of emergency. Senator Dixon, your action unconstitutional. MBO tells Tinubu it is unwarranted, premeditated attacks on Rivers opposition. PDP governor Ibok Ete Iba sworn in promise to restore law order in Rivers State. And NLC Yusuf to Tinubu reverse emergency rule. Illegality of dissolving elected democratic structure. That is of Falana. That is from Falana. So, Dr. Charima, emergency rule. You know that is emergency rule is I think it's the most common phrase in Nigeria for now. As a matter of fact, I think I would declare emergency rule on anything that has to do with urgent 2K to message to me. Because right myself, I need emergency response from anyone that wants to give me something that will make my weekend good.
That's right.
So what is it about this emergency rule? Do you agree? And just look at the whole scenario and let's have a thought on this.
Well, in politics, there's what we call the doctrine of necessity. It doesn't just come because there's a need for it. It comes because it's an emergency that requires urgent attention based on if the crisis or the challenge is of national importance. We all know that Rivers State seats most of the cash cow of Nigeria, or rather the oil wells of Nigeria, including some of our national assets. And if emergency rule is not actually established, definitely we're going to lose a great sum of income from the revenue we generate from oil. And Rivers State plays a vital role in the economy of Nigeria. And whatever is necessary to protect that interest, we as a nation must support it. I think what necessitated the emergency rule is not far-fetched. You could see that the tussle between the Rivers State governor and his former predecessor, it's clear that they are not just fighting for the people, they are fighting for their self-interest. Whichever is right, the most important thing is to preserve the lives and properties of people and also preserve our national assets in Rivers State. That is the reason why the emergency rule was necessitated.
Okay, that's you said the emergency rule, in your own opinion, is necessary to forestall any kind of violence that might occur. And just like we know, Rivers State is one of the states that we still contrarily dependent on our petroleum resources, and Rivers State is very crucial to that. But some are of the opinion that the president was not was too hasty, and he could have done more before declaring a state of emergency, because we've seen worse security situations in places like Borno, Katsina, and other parts in the north. Why didn't they declare emergency rule there? And even some years back, when the former president declared emergency rule there, he didn't tamper with the democratic institutions like the executive and the legislature. Some of the opinion that there is the Constitution, Section 305, does not give the president the power to suspend democratically elected officials.
Yeah, well, everybody may tend to differ, but I think the most important thing is preserving lives and property, and also ensuring that our natural assets or national assets are preserved. Because as at now, we are yet to diversify our economy, and the only way we can fund our budget and also take care of the welfare of the citizenry is to preserve those national assets. You and I know that we are still grappling with FX, of course, exchange rate with respect to crude oil sales and all that. We must come to a point where we should understand that this is not just political, but this is for the entire nation to get itself back on feet and also preserve what sustains this nation. That is one. On the second light, you like it or not, there is no opposition that will sit down and clap its hands to a sitting governor or president. Reason being, everyone wants to have a share of the national cake, be it on a positive note or on a negative note. Bola Tinubu accused and, of course, challenged Jonathan during his time, Goodluck Jonathan, president then, on his hastiness in, declaring the state of emergency in some states in the nation as at that time. But of course, that's politics. So he is not playing to the gallery, but he is trying to seeing that, of course, there are better ways to handling that. But when it comes to the preservation of national assets, we have no choice but to support the president. I can tell you this for free. I will not support him on the grounds that I'm a PDP loyalist, a card-carrying loyalist. But I can support it when it concerns preservation of national assets and where we draw our resources from. Again, if you look at it, the state where we were expecting Buhari to declare state of emergency, most of our national assets are not threatened. And as much as the challenge was overwhelming, the loss of life, the body counts, you can tell that this is something that can be managed. As much as we don't support the number of people being killed, we can as well look at it from a different front. If our resources is flowing, we can have more resources to buy weapons and other stuff that we can help the military to achieve success in the fight against banditry. Lastly, when it comes to emergency rule, it is not a question of if it is convenient or it is the right thing to do. Like I said earlier, the doctrine of necessity was needed in spite of the Constitution to preserve a nation from ruins. You cannot tell me that we should allow those assets go in flames in order to rule over ashes. Why not preserve them? Then we will not discuss national constitutional matters. The president can be indicted for abuse of office, but at the time, morally speaking, and of course, considering national interest, I think it is more important to preserve national interest than political agitations. It is the quest for power, and you should expect it. We should expect it. It is normal. But I think, in my own honest opinion, aside partisan politics, this was necessary to preserve national assets and also lives and property. Because as you can see, the military and all other, security agencies are well positioned to preserve these assets, not stopping anyone from doing their day-to-day activity, but to ensuring that lives are protected, properties are safeguarded, and our national asset is also in good hands.
Mr. Ra, do you agree with him?
Yes, to a very large extent. At a point during the course of the crisis, during the mediation, you will discover that the parties involved became so emotionally attached.
That's right.
Their statements became aggressive.
Agreed.
At a point in time, the sitting governor was talking about they should hold on. When it is time, he will tell them to go ahead and do what they're supposed to do. That was a grievous statement. So when the president took that decision, just like the good doctor said, logically that is the best thing. Because at that point in time, if you ignore this kind of statements, it will become a situation where you may not be able to contend it at the end of the day. And considering the fact that, well, I'm not a lawyer, but there are openings where you can use some of these things to see the fact that suspension is not removal. There is a need for you to institute this kind of sole administrator thing. So that since Fubara is not removed, it's only suspended. And the members of House of Assembly are not removed, they are suspended. So maybe after 6 months, they must have regained their senses and come back to the fact that there is a need for them to act like the statesmen that they are. Right. Because at the point, Fubara couldn't remember that he's an elder statesman. He became reckless, he became careless in his statements, and it became a child's play. The report has it that he was going somewhere, not really on his way to the State House of Assembly. He was going to commission a palace that he built somewhere. Then he just stopped over somewhere and said he came to present budget. It became like child's play. You understand? So at the end of the day, there is a need for the president to take that decision that he has taken. Just like the good doctor said, it's possible that he is in error. It's possible that he will be indicted in one way or the other at the end of it all. But for the moment, I think that is the best decision that should be taken.
Now let us go to another paper here, The Nation. We say, let me just take some stories on The Nation before we hit the headline, which is also about Rivers, was coming from another angle. Some of the stories on the front page of The Nation says, Dangote plant sale of petrol in dollars raises fuel price hike fears. That is one story, and I'm sure we are going to go to that story eventually. Then, okay, on the front page of The Nation, we have federal government indicts Fubara in bombing of oil pipelines. AGF explained why decision on emergency rule was taken. Our situation in Rivers not same as in no others in 2013. Suspended governor out of government house. Ibas sworn in. So I will like doctor. The federal government indicted Fubara. I think there was the AGF said something that he telegraphed the militants also concerning our national assets. So what do you think of this, the statement from the AGF?
Well, there are certain security information that may not be released to the public based on what is happening in Rivers State. There are sensitive materials that also were seen online where some people stood by the side of those national assets and made threats that if Fubara be removed, all these national assets will go in flames. And it was days after that we started hearing about the bombings in different locations, and it necessitated the call, the declaration for a state of emergency. Fubara boxed himself in when he supported them indirectly. His body language was so clear that the Rivers people will resist whatever the federal government was up to, or the House of Assembly was up to. But it's not a battle. It's not war. This is democracy. Everything within democracy is dialogue in nature. But the moment you begin to use your might to declare that you have other alternatives to resisting democratic system, it calls for caution, and it calls, of course, it raises the bells of alarm for the powers that be to take the necessary action to quell the problem. As much as the Constitution did not support the removal of elected officials, just like in the case where no governor is permitted to sack a local government chairman that is elected duly, so also the the federal government has no powers to remove a sitting governor and elected officials of the House of Assembly. Be it as it may, the doctrine of necessary was necessary at this point in time, and desperate times calls for desperate measure, and the president has no choice. But because of the available security feelers he was getting from Rivers State, the governor wasn't helping matters. The House of Assembly, of course, they were also emotional, looking at that their allowances and salaries and benefits and also constituency projects of the people they represent were put on hold for over a year plus. That is uncalled for. It is not autocracy, it's democracy. The governor has no right to destroy the institution, the bastion of democracy, in the name that he was refurbishing it without informing the House of Assembly members. So if the House of Assembly members are reacting emotionally based on the attack on the institution, they are trying to preserve that entity called the legislature, because it is an arm of government, not lower than the executive, neither is the executive better than it. They are even supposed to enjoy some form of autonomy. But because we have a system that is still evolving, I can agree that we are still trying to, cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure our democracy fits global standard. But in all, I can guarantee you that there was a need for a state of emergency.
But coming to that, there's this issue of, was the president, was he fair with the fact that he had a member of his cabinet who was a key player in this crisis. And during his speech, he made no mention of the role played by a member of his cabinet in the person of Nyesom Wike. And also, the AGF came out and he more or less exonerated Wike of any wrongdoing. I think some people are of the opinion that there's a kind of favor. The president is favoring Wike against Fubara, and he has taken sides. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Well, using the word sentiment, I beg to differ in many respects. If we are looking at it objectively, it's totally a different ballgame. If you are looking at it sentimentally, it also carries a different connotation. Whether Wike is involved or not, the governor boxed himself to a point wherewith the doctrine of necessity must be invoked. Honestly speaking, whether Wike is involved or not, the crisis there was not projected or fueled by Wike. The governor has all the mechanism and the power to manage the situation with or without Wike. Wike is not the governor. Wike is a minister of the Federal Republic. His place of function may be wide in nature, but he is limited to Abuja. That he spoke is not a law in Rivers State. I am the father over my family. My elder brother has no right to dictate to me what should happen in my home. It is giving attention to what my elder brother is saying that we show, if at all, he is in charge of my house or I am in charge of my house. So Wike may have personal issues with Fubara for being his predecessor and his principal. It is not enough for Fubara to submit himself to what Wike is saying. Wike has no powers, as it were, to decide what happens in the state. It is the attention given to what Wike is saying that probably has necessitated some of these things.
But we heard that it was Wike had power over these legislators, and he was the one guiding them.
Like it or not, in the excuse me, sir, politics is not religion. The moral aspect of politics is integrity, service to the people, honesty, accountability. If Wike is accountable, it means that he has a passion for what sustains the people, but he has no power whatsoever to decide what happens in Rivers State. If I am a governor, and if at all my predecessor brought me by reason of my service to him, he expects 100% loyalty. The House of Assembly members are also loyal to who brought both Fubara and the legislators. They decided to remain loyal to Wike based on how they value the place of loyalty. I expect Fubara should come in. I did not bring the people in the House of Assembly. Let's work together. It's about understanding. It's about negotiation. It's about dialogue. It's about coming to a point where we lobby each other. The trust between Wike and the legislators has existed over time. Single-handedly, possibly he brought them into the House of Assembly. Fubara has not played a major role, obviously, in bringing them to the House of Assembly. So he should not expect 100% loyalty in a space of less than 1 year. And this crisis started just barely 3 weeks into governance, where we saw a deviation between a sour relationship between him and his benefactor. Politics is not religion. Don't expect people to begin to think that Wike will fold his hands and let the structure he has built over the time, over 8 years, to in one swift, because of someone's greed, disappear or dissipate itself into thin air.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Ara, what do you have to say?
Fubara was the father of the state, as it were. As the governor, he is the one in charge, not Wike. Wike can interfere as somebody that has interest, but if you look at the pronouncement of the president, the whole blame was on Fubara.
Yes.
Because he is the one that has the power and the constitutional purview to be able to tackle it.
That's right.
So whatever it is that goes wrong, it is the fault of the governor. just like the AGF was saying. Was Wike the one that asked that House of Assembly should be demolished? No. It was not Wike. And all these things, it was because of one thing or the other that Fubara had done wrong or has handled not correctly that led to all this crisis. Because as a chief security officer, he will have said this and given instruction like this and even call out to the president and say, okay, this is what I have.
That's right.
And there is a need for you to intervene. Put your cards on the table, discuss this thing. Well, somehow he couldn't do that, or maybe he did it and it was ignored. But whatever it is that happened, he is the one that should carry the whole blame. Wike now, except if there are further investigations that implicate him.
That's right.
He
starts exonerated.
You understand? So that's the way.
Okay, well, that is what my analysts here are saying. Well, I leave it to the audience. And you can also follow this conversation on Facebook and also drop your messages on Facebook. Some TV on Facebook and on YouTube, Some TV Live. You can drop your comments there and we will be sure that we will read your comment. And maybe later in the program, we will display a number where you can call in or send text or WhatsApp messages. So let us go to the next paper here. I think this one, the Daily Trust newspaper. The story on the Daily Trust say many fear dead as tanker explodes on Abuja Road. Another explosion is becoming one too many in Nigeria. Is there anything with tanker explosions? Because it wasn't like this in the past. Even right here in Jalingo, we've had 3 or 2 tanker issues this year alone. Another story here said poor sanitation orders push meningitis death to 55 in Kebbi. That is quite sad. Another story on the Daily Trust is EFCC arrests Bauchi's AG Accountant General over alleged 17 billion fraud. That is also the Daily Trust. And we also have Rivers crisis. Emergency rule can be overturned, according to Yadudu. We overrule Tinubu, NNPPLP others tell National Assembly. But the major story on the front page of the Daily Trust is fuel price may rise as Naira for crude deal stops, experts see government intervention. I want to say something. There was a time between July, April, July, August, September, November. Fuel price was the major discussion in Nigeria. But do you see the way the issue of fuel price was just tucked into a corner of the... So that shows that Nigeria, it is one day, one story. One story. I'm surprised at the issue of fuel price that kept us busy all through
even those that don't use fuel.
Even though everybody will discuss it, subsidy became a word that you go to the village and the people will tell you, they will turn the word subsidy upside down, inside out.
That's right.
So now fuel price may rise as Naira for crude deal stalls. There's a story that the Dangote refineries said the Naira for crude deal as stalled, and they may lead to they won't sell this product in Naira again, but in dollars. Now, what is the implication of all this, Doctor?
Yes, I can say for free that the issue between the FG, Dangote, and the independent marketers is still within the purview of discussion. We are yet to they are yet to come to a point where these things are working out in favor. Dangote is a businessman, and what you expect from a businessman is to make profit. And sometimes when products from his plant hits the street, we enjoy qualitative products better than what we used to have. However, for him to sustain a business that probably made up of shareholders, and of course it is not a welfare scheme, you should expect that these things will not be comfortable to his purse. So he will look for alternative to also balance up. That is why he's also considering supplying products elsewhere in order to enjoy some form of profitability. However, buying or selling the product, be it in Naira or in dollar, has enormous effect on our local what do you call it, currency, and that will impinge on other commodities, because the moment the prices in oil products begin to increase, transportation of all these commodities will also increase. And that is what we are facing. By and large, and I can agree that the prices of oil is reducing. It may not be geometrically, but gradually. And it will take time for some of this form of stability to, to be ensured. I can also tell you that because there is no agreement in the general prices of how it is with the independent marketers, the federal government, that's the NNPC, and of course private sector. Have you been hearing any story with BUA and other in the private, No, the reason is so simple. Politics is playing out. Dangote is at the center of his own, trying to keep his head high. But of course, you like it or not, his interest politically may not be with the government of the day. So I don't want to assume, but in presumption, I can tell you that Dangote is facing a lot in a short while. So expect that to happen, but in good faith, things are getting better.
Well, if the politics of petrol is something that you don't want to go into, but for the interest of the nation, don't you, Mr. Don't you think there should be a way around this? Because you could see that as the prices of fuel began to come down, the competition in the market, people began to have faith in the fact that subsidy was removed. And we were even hoping that with the way the competition is going, we may see us going to as low as 600 or
even 400.
400. And even there was a time when the price of crude at the international market went high. Nigerians, for the first time, were not happy because they know it will affect the price of fuel. Because more or less, we look at the price of crude in comparison to what the price of the product. So we are looking at it. Well, don't you think there should be a way in which they can resolve these things in the interest of the nation?
No, the whole thing boils down to the decision of the government and its policies and how it pursues those policies to ensure that some of these things are being followed to the logical end like that. If this report is anything to go by, okay, let me read that. Under the arrangement, NNPC was expected to supply 385,000 barrels of crude oil to the 650,000 barrel per day Dangote refinery. But findings show that there has been a consistent low supply of the allocation to Dangote refinery. As source said in the first place, NNPC has not been faithful. So if you agree with Dangote, you are going to give him a particular number of barrel per day, so he will sell his refined product in such a way that it will benefit Nigerians, and you fail. What do you expect Dangote as a businessman to do? So the problem is, I think, it's still with the government. They will need to set their house in order, ensure that they have played their own part in such a way that they will have the voice to tell Dangote, okay, we have done our own part, and you will have to comply with us because we are the government, and somehow we've done what is required of us. So I think the problem will still go back to those at the hands of authority to see to it that all the sanitization that needs to occur in that sector has been pursued to the latter, and see to it that at the end of the day, it is only Dangote that should be blamed if things are not going on right.
Okay, I think that is it. The government still has a lot to do on this matter, and to ensure that there's this a seamless transaction between the NNPC and Dangote refineries, because Nigerians are we were beginning to have faith in what they call the market forces and the competition in the industry. And I think this information came as a root shock. And if not for the story, the emergency rule in Rivers, this would have been the major story
headline
for the day. So now with this, let us go to the Blueprint newspaper. The Blueprint newspaper, we're just trying to look at the papers that have different stories apart from what is happening in Rivers, because if we dive into Rivers, we may not come out of it soon. So let us look at the Blueprint. The Blueprint are some of the stories on the front page. It's a promo. Are you one of the millionaires that emerged?
I'm still hoping to be.
You're still hoping to be. Okay. So another one, sport, World Cup qualifiers. We have to stop Osimhen, says Rwanda sportsman. Well, that is what 101 kidnap victims in Katsina and Zamfara State. I think, honestly, sometimes some of these stories used to be very, very big stories, but we've gotten to a stage that we are not shocked any longer. 101 kidnap victims are rescued, and it's just somewhere tucked somewhere in the pages. Well, I think our shock absorbers have become so.
Not really. I think the politics around some of these stories gives attention to it. Gone are the days where we, even when one is kidnapped, it becomes a headline. To the point where when 100, it becomes an international interest story. The politics around some of these things also has a way of making it solid. If the media had given attention or is light on it, such places light on it, I can guarantee you it should have been the story we are discussing. But because there are other interests, that's like you said earlier, one day, one story. And we have selective amnesia in Nigeria. We tend to forget things easily. Even the things that move us emotionally. If something of interest is given another attention, we shift from them and begin to look at. But this is really uncalled for, and there's need for us to still strengthen our security agencies to be proactive, not try to provide solution when the deed is done. With respect to the explosions, if you permit,
go ahead.
We need to understand that every petroleum product is volatile.
Definitely.
And the season we are in, the heat is such that even the tankers themselves expand. Anything metallic expands. So you don't need to fill it to the brim if you're transporting it remotely like we do. We are still in the age where petroleum products are still transported from the south to the northern part of, for crying out loud. Look at the season. And there are better tankers where it has a way of
because of our road networks. Most times those areas are congested. One thing leads to another. Someone is frustrated, smoking by the roadside, and these are volatile, petroleum products. Before you know what's happening, a little spark goes up, and while someone is smoking,
driver wants to get a bite. All these things contribute to a lot of nuisance, and at the end of the day, not only one casualty is recorded.
CNG is one of the most light commodities. You don't expect it to explode, but it's
That's quite well. Of the country. Now, talking about heat. Federal government dispatches 3,000
some of resurface, but
trigger other state government to also position themselves and start doing something about it. It's quite unfortunate. And out of the 56 or thereabout that we lost as a nation, we are yet to even do the needful. Of course, the state government has assured that the situation is under control, where with people are now experiencing getting vaccinated for free, and then those that are down with the disease are receiving ready treatment. But we have lost too much for something that can be handled by prevention. Meningitis is everywhere, but it can be managed when we do the regular, we put in the regular measure, the vaccination and all that. About 17 samples were taken to the National Reference Laboratory in Abuja. 5 came out negative, the remaining 5 positive. The other that have been vaccinated in one of the remote areas, and we can also hear from what is already happening. Key in and begin to see what they can do.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Irad Meningitis. I know in the past. I was used to this vaccine at the pump. So when we got there, we had to buy syringe. Syringe with trigger. I was used to the triggers. We bought syringe. I was wondering what is this, and I got a shot, and they said it's meningitis. I said, well, but I later got to know the effect of meningitis. One of my uncle came around. He could speak, but he could not hear. So they said that it was due to the effect of meningitis. He could speak, but he could not hear. So I now know that this is definitely a stronger. So what has happened? Why has this stopped? Is it because now the heat has increased? I expected more vaccinations across the country.
Yes. The truth is that most of the times we react to these challenges instead of being proactive. When you have situation where we know that bandits have attacked the village and people have moved to maybe urban center or places that are safe, and there will be congestion, there is a need for government to have taken proactive measures in anticipation that this thing may occur. Give them immunization and see to it that these challenges is nipped at the bud. But in most instances, we become so careless about it as people, and at times we usually blame the government. We have our own individual responsibilities too. Safety measures should be taken seriously. Precautions, stay in well-ventilated area. Make sure that you have a lot of stay in atmosphere where you're not prone to be affected to this disease. And if we take this proactive measure, considering the fact that we know that mostly during heat season, so the government and community leaders and stakeholders should begin to look at this from the perspective and making the rounds going from home to home like that. An awareness campaign for people to know that this is what you're supposed to do to see to it that there is no outbreak of meningitis.
Come back, we're going to have our ladies in the house for the PJ section. always quite hilarious and informative, to have the beautiful ladies come and tease us, speak to the market women, like they say in pidgin English, and to those of us that love the poetry of the Nigerian pidgin. So we'll go for a short break, and we'll be back shortly after that.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Sun TV. Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 247 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Market. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 247 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today.
My country people, I dey throw a salute to una this morning, and I dey welcome una to the pidgin section of our newspaper headline review. This is a section where we dey knack una tori on things where they happen for inside we country, even to serve our society and our community. My name na Esther Oka Steven, and with me this morning now one correct guest from Business Holdings when he dey for inside the Jalingo, Mr. Bartholomew Peter, aka Logistics. Oga, good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Okay, oh, my country people, joy don't land for inside the two communities where they for inside the Sadauna local government for Taraba State, my country people. And the name of this community, na Shakaka and the Mayo Ndaga community. As una can see for that community, because of say joy don't enter that place. Now so laugh, 9 children and parents, they laugh for that community. Sake of say government don't implement, say they go they cook free food for children when it dey for that community. This one come make plenty children where they for that community no they fail to attend school. The madam will initiate that thing for that school na Ajia Suweiba of the Action Aid Nigeria and Women and Children Healthcare Foundation. Ajia Suweiba even self make a canteen for that place. She come make kitchen when it be say people who go they cook for inside with a new utensils, spoons with them, correct things way, and then nourishable food when it be say these children them they eat it. This one come make a parents of that community them begin they happy. Say this initiative when it be say Governor Abu Kefas don't make them to implement for that state say na correct one. At the end of the day, my country people, this one come make Dr. Danjuma Garuba come outside. That one a chairman of board of trustees of Bent, where they for inside the Taraba State. He come outside, he come talk, say, and this one say na correct initiative, say, and meanwhile as Ajia Suweiba don't come make this food matter to stand for ground well for that community. Say I beg in the call on the youth of that place and the community people. Say that canteen where Ajia Suweiba don't put for ground for that place. Say make them they watch them well so that people no go break into it. My country people and the community people of Shakaka and the Mayo Ndaga, the youth to them, una don't hear this one where Dr. Garuba talk so. He say make una keep watch sake of say you go figure some people for that place where go come outside come talk say them they know there for primary school and them know there for secondary school to they enjoy this their fresh food where they cook for them for that place. Sake of say the aroma na so smell, and the food they sent for their nose for that place, and that one fit to make them to go break that kitchen. I know say my youth they not be like that. The youth of Shakaka and Mayo Ndaga na correct youth they be. So I know say them go watch that kitchen well, and none of them go think say they want to break into that kitchen. Shakaka youth, I believe say una they hear me because una be correct people. Oga Logistic, I want to make you help me chook matter for inside this matter. Sake of say this food where them they cook. Now him make children they go school, or now they go there to go learn, because many children now they go fit to say food don dey, but you sure say their mind go there for the book wey dem say make dem go study, abi na their mind go there for the food wey dem dey go chop. How you take see this matter?
I dey happy when you just talk this matter. As you just talk and my body come dey sweet me like this. Reason be say, you see, we get people wey be say they get different motive for wetin they do. But I discover be say wetin they bring right now no be to say make children go school just to go chop food.
Okay.
No, na to encourage them so that they go do their study well. May they read book, may they know say yes, wetin carry them go school now to go study. That one now to just help them so that they go dey strong for wetin they do for school. So now me, my own be say make parents also understand say no because of food you dey send your pikin go school.
Okay.
No be that one. You dey send am go school so that him go learn. Tomorrow you go be better person. We go also help another school. Because now another person help this school where we dey talk about now, or the way help that community now. So those children where dey that community now, for them be say to go there study. I remember when I did for Abuja, I get one particular school where I work there. And they call her Hope Eden. That school, if you check am very well, na NGO get am. Na NGO get am. But in the morning like this, when the children come, they even get their toothbrush. Yes, apart from the one where they get for house, they get toothbrush. Where we say they go brush for school. Then in the morning they go still give them food. Before they go enter class, they learn. They will give them. Then in the afternoon before closing hour, they will still give them. Now this one to just say, may they encourage them so that and if you see the children, they do well for school. They do well. Now concerning that community where they help them now for that place, we say, may they not look at make parents not look and like saying that because of food they send the children. From house, maybe they begin to tell the children, say, no be food they carry you go.
Yes.
Waiting they carry you go now to go learn. That food where they give you now to help you stay strong so that you go learn more.
Okay.
And now the reason be that. I hear you talk one matter say may they no go vandalize the place, scatter the kitchen, Abi. Na true. Because if they cook now, the aroma go just circulate for environment. And other people go there, they feel like say, this food we supposed partake. If they no partake, now we say they will go scatter area. May they no scatter area.
Okay.
Their own be say, may they just go secure the place. Now because of their own children and their own younger ones, now make they do that thing. So make it be say, make they do one in such a way be say, the kitchen go dey safe.
Okay.
Now my own be that.
Oh,
for
my
this
country
small one.
people, una don hear am for Oga aka Logistic Mart, Mr. Bartholomew Peters. He don talk the one when he sweet me well. He said that one when he be say I talk say the smell where this food they send to enter people who knows fit make them to break that kitchen. He say na true, say make you to guide and well. Even self small participants go fit to follow take there because I believe say they go employ some youth to go they do one or two things for them. Okay, oh my country people, for those of you wey just they join us, this is the pidgin section of our newspaper headline review. And just now we just talk of matter concerning one community where be Shakaka and Mayo Undaga for inside the Taraba State for Sadauna local government. We just talk and say joy don't enter that place as government don't implement cooking alongside their education system. Okay, oh my country people, Tori don carry us to enter for inside the Ebonyi State, my country people. As 3 security men go beat one other security man, where sotele the man come by. Okay, oh my country people, something don happen for inside Ezemegbo in Ochaku local government for inside the Ebonyi State, for Ebonyi State University. 4 security men for that place. 3 accuse one, say one go steal for permanent site in my country. People look, and the name of that one na Ebube Igboke. They say Ebube go steal for permanent site. Now the other 3 security men come begin they beat Ebube. And meanwhile, Ebube girlfriend, the wife of the girl, when he be say be fiance, when he want marry, she too they follow them. They do security for that place. The family member of Ebube talk say when the girlfriend wan interfere, say abeg make una leave am, make una carry am go station. They come dey tell the girlfriend say the matter no concern the girlfriend. After severe beating when Ebube don collect in my country people, from there these 3 other security men come reason say they supposed to carry Ebube go for police station. Now when they come reach police station, now police talk person come outside for that area, come talk say make them quickly rush carry am go for hospital. Country people as dem come reach hospital na for there na Ebube come kpai yo. As I dey talk to una so Ebube fiancé and Ebube family member dem no gree, they don go write a petition, they don carry Ebube, they don carry this matter enter for inside the court too. Oga Bartholomew, I want to make you help me chuku mouth for inside this matter because of say 3 colleagues, 3 workers when we say that they do things together, come join hand so till they come beat their own colleague to death. This action, this act where we say they don't go put themselves into concerning Ebube na correct thing.
Make a chook and well for here because the thing, it don't chook me too.
Okay.
I'll be say, you go tell me say we be colleague and we they work together. You go come now, you can't still beat me to say I buy. It no make sense now. Number 1, if we be say I do something where we say it wrong, you no get right where you go carry your hand touch my body. The first thing we say, you go carry me. You get people where they are ahead of us first now. You go report the matter, go give them. When you report the matter, give them. Then they get another step where they go carry follow. Now when una don't beat the guy finish, we don't wound them. Una come the rush and go police. Police no go collect them. Because no be their duty. Their own be say now when you carry that kind of issue, you carry the person come when they strong, carry and give them. If you give them now from there they go know the next thing. But you don't wound them finish, come carry and come they give them. They no go collect. And now okay the guy don't buy. Number 1 issue be say he get wetin dey happen between the 3 of them because na 3 you mention. He get wetin dey shele where they no tell us. They no tell us that one. So he get wetin dey happen. No unity. Okay. There is no unity at all. They no get unity. If you check that matter well. And they no get peace. I mean, among them where they see that where they hear that issue. So me my own be say, as the family don't carry the matter go court. Them Mawek perform that yeyeti where they make this guy buy. Them they go face him. Okay. No, that is it. They go face him because they no follow the right thing where they supposed to do. So that matter it get as it be. So the family do right as they carry the matter go court. At least this is how they supposed to do from the beginning. Now what they supposed to do be that. So now my own be that too. Okay, my country people una don hear am from AKA Logistic in Math as in take talk and myself I like am. The number 1 thing when you talk when me like well concerning this matter say na unity when not there among these 4 people. If it was say love can follow join my country people Ebube for don fight today. Okay, that's why it's good for our place of work. Make we dey uniting. If not, this matter say person still where they come totally talk say na Ebube just as they always they talk una man una self sabi am say that the body not the fit to tell story. That the body not the fit to talk. Whether na Ebube carry this thing true, nobody le sabi my country people. But if to say unity dey, love dey, I'm not sure say they forbid Ebube like this. And they don't confirm, say, okay, now Ebube carry am. The next thing now to go tell the authority, or where the school authority, because of say now Ebonyi State University, now this one happen to my country people. Okay, my country people, I thank you now for watching this pidgin section of our newspaper headline review. But before I go, I beg you, I want to say, make we be our brother's keeper. Make we dey learn to show love at home for us. Even to serve our place of work, our for market, my market women, them I believe so now they hear me even to serve for marketing. Anywhere we find ourselves for school, for compound surroundings in my country people, make una dey get love for each other. Now for here we go draw the curtain on the pidgin section of our newspaper headline review. But meanwhile our morning show still they continue with Oga Ryan and Mr. Abraham. My name is Esther Oka Steven. I thank you for watching una do.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
There's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo. Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Welcome back to the morning show on Some TV. And that was quite an hilarious one from the pigeon section there. And we're back to the side of the studio. And now, still with us in the studio is Dr. David Charima, who has been quite excellent with his analysis of the news this morning. Welcome. You're still here with us, so would like to welcome again.
That's
Okay, and also with us, still with us is Mr. Ira Daniel Kwekwen. He's our host, as a matter of fact, he's Director of News and Current Affairs on Some TV. Mr. Ira, welcome and good morning.
Thank you very much.
So we are going to go into the stories that have to do with our host state, which is Taraba State. So we'll look at one or two stories on the pages of Taraba News. Taraba News happens to be the #1 newspaper in Taraba State. And well, it is undisputed that it has Taraba News has one of the largest followers in the Northeast among media houses. So on the page of the Taraba News, we have one story there. We say Health Minister meets Taraba delegation, backs Governor Kefa's fight against Lassa fever. Let me run through the story. Say the fight against Lassa fever in Taraba State received a major boost as the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pati, met with Governor Agbu Kefas and his team in Abuja, pledging federal support to curb the recurrence of Lassa fever. The meeting held at the Tiwa Danjuma House in Asokoro, Abuja, was at the instance of the governor who was seeking federal intervention to strengthen the state's fight against recurring Lassa fever. Also present were the Speaker of the Taraba State House of Assembly, Right Honorable John Kizito Bonzena, the Majority Leader, the Commissioner of Health, and the Permanent Secretary of the Licensing Office in Abuja. Dr. Charima, this visitation by the governor to the Minister of Health, what does it hold for us in Taraba concerning Lassa fever? And I think there will be also partnership on other areas in their sector.
The Federal Minister of Health is an experienced public health professional. He has held several positions in the country and outside the country. He's been president of one of the most, lucrative or impactful NGOs that have created rural and urban healthcare provisions in our nation. So partnering with him is the right step in the right direction because he has access to a lot of interventions within and outside the country that can help the state mitigate. Firm these diseases on time will help safeguard and save those who come down with it. And of course, there are other interventions that will be required that will also require the federal might to be part of that fight so that it can be the thing of the past. Honestly speaking, Lassa fever is a threat to us all, whether it is you who enjoy some form of comfort or those who are close to it by reason of sanitary concerns.
Okay, that's quite good. So what are some of the measures we can take even as citizens of Taraba State to curb this Lassa fever?
Sanitation is key, and if you look at even the urban area in Taraba State, is still grappling with a lot of waste bins around the state capital. We are grappling with unwanted ponds and blockages here and there. If you check, even our household requires a lot of sanitation. I think a call to sanitation, personal sanitation, is some form of duty that must not be compromised.
Yes.
Should be enhanced. Thank God for the wisdom of His Excellency, the Governor of Taraba State, Dr.
curbing some of these health challenges.
Mr. Ira, what role do you think, because Lassa fever is very, very deadly, what roles do you think we in the media can also play to support government intervention in this aspect?
Yeah, media predominantly is a part of the society that is started with the responsibility of creating awareness. So if we create the right awareness and it is sufficient enough, it will go a long way in tackling the reoccurrence of diseases like this, such as the Lassa fever. Lassa fever has this way of reoccurring yearly, just like I mentioned earlier concerning meningitis. There's this time of the year that normally we normally hear the stories that there's outbreak of Lassa fever, awareness of safety measures, how to maintain some sanitation procedures even at home, because Lassa is rodent-borne disease.
That's right.
And rodents that has a way of thriving in situations where the house is unkept and other places like that. And there is another factor that people tend not to understand. It's not only unkept places that rodents come to. Rodents stay in almost every, even in the studio, you will not be surprised if you find one rodent or the other.
Absolutely.
And at times we get careless, because at times you will see people that die from Lassa fever are so, how do I put it, placed in the society that you begin to wonder how come they are infected with Lassa. Because they believe that, okay, this decent house, there may be no rats. But unfortunately, there are presence of rats in some of these places. And when you don't follow the safety procedures of keeping food, you may get infected because of that. So there is this awareness that should be created that all
Taraba Youth Roundtable advocates for decency with new billboard at Taraba State Polytechnic. The story has it that in a significant move to promote decency and curb social vices among students, the Taraba Youth Roundtable has unveiled a large awareness billboard at the entrance of the Taraba State Polytechnic. This initiative, driven by the need to instill more moral discipline and positive conduct among young people, sends a strong message encouraging students to uphold good behavior on campus. The billboard prominently featured the message shown of wanted characters on campus. The way you address is how you will be addressed. This statement serves as a reminder that students should maintain a level of decency in their addressing and general conduct. You were part of, you were one of the resource people for Taraba Youth Roundtable. What do you have to say youth concerning their vices and also good conduct and the way they dress, and what have you? What message do you have for the youth?
I think from the Taraba Youth Roundtable is simply a need for young people, the youth of Taraba State, to reposition themselves, imbibe the culture of new trends that culminate into wealth creation, job creation, and of course, adding to the value that increase the IGR of Taraba State. From the launch of the billboard, it is clear that it is not just one of those programs people but part of the organization is to see how they also impact the society. So I could see this as a corporate social responsibility of the organizers. Having said that, I think we need to instill the culture of decency, because you cannot tell if those going to Taraba State University are actually coming from a brothel or having a night show, or probably there's what do you call it, a club, a nightclub, you know, happening somewhere there. Because sometimes when you pass through Taraba State University, you begin to wonder, is it education that is being taught here, or prostitution? The world may not accept it, but the largest percentage of people who complain about sexual harassment is found in tertiary